Good evening, Professor Leary. Zofia Grzegorzewska. Week 5 of our assignments. For this week, we are supposed to assess the work of Emmanuel Levinas, Hannah Arendt, and Rosemary Tung, Nancy Williams. I just want to really start with Emmanuel Levinas, who was Lithuanian, born French philosopher. His philosophy was based on thoughts toward the other person. His theology was based on looking at the other person, the other. The other for him was thou. So in the other person, if we look at the other person, we may find this divinity. We may find the other person that is just like us. Nobody different than us. I think even if we look in the face of the other person in a battlefield, we probably could find someone who is, like I mentioned in my posts, somebody who's son, father, husband, brother to someone. Right? He's got some loving bond with other people and the people in his family, his friends, his neighbors. It's this like looking at the other person face. It's like looking at creation. I want to say, looking at creation. Well, Levinas was born in part of Russia in Latvian family in 1906. And so he died in Paris in 1995. He had very interesting life. That's because he was still very young. He migrated to, his family migrated to Paris, France, when the Second World War happened. Levinas entered the French army, which he was also in prison. He was his imprisonment have taken, I think, more deeply into probably studies about, I always want to say, morality, ethics, the face theory, and divinity. Another thing is also that I would love to go deeper in his studies, because he was influenced by Husserl work and phenomenology. And as we know, phenomenology had kind of no explanation to kind of existence of human, like there is no practical explanation to existence. So that's very philosophical portrayal of the world. Next great philosopher, political terrorist is Hannah Arendt. She's German-American philosopher, 1906, 1975. She was thought to be very very influential politics, very influential political philosopher of the 20th century. Well, as I was reading about her, I want to say life, she had a very colorful, interesting life as well. I think she married anywhere she went in the world, so it ended with a marriage. But anyway, she in her work, when she describes trail of Adolf Eichmann. I'm sorry, my German got a little bit from from. I'm not using it. I used to study German. I'm not using it in daily life. So, oh well, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. But anyway, kind of when I was reading it, I kind of get feeling that she wants to talk about, I don't know, doing the right thing. Try to set examples, because her description of the trail was kind of, for me, it seems like she is writing the concept of being as just big show. It's like the judges, let's just say that Adolf Eichmann was one of the, I want to say, SS German, murderers, right? That we would call them murderers, but he was in the German fascist army. One of the, I want to say, top on the ladder in fascist Adolf Hitler's army. Well, so each one was, it seems like this whole thing, his trail was just show, because it seems like even judges had already the mind set up, like he is the killer and murderer. He's the one who plot how to kill, plot with the Hitler's right people. They plot how to get rid of Jews. Each man states that he never even murdered personally anyone, and he shouldn't be responsible for any kind of murders. But it's just the thing that he was like mastermind behind all of the murders, and that's what he is being charged with. At some point, it says that he was charged with murdering 5 millions of all 6 millions of Jews that were murdered in total during the Second World War. Another thing is that, as I want to say, it's like this. It seems like all was already just. It seems like it's just formality for a show for the people, because judges are already set up their minds, and of course no other way for having happened. Then of course Eichmann's dead. Even though it's stated over here that Eichmann was found as a person in stable condition, not like someone who would be very dangerous. serial killer, murderer, a psychopath. Um, he was found as a normal person. At this point, that's the work of her art. Another person, great, want to go to feminist now. It's Rosemary Tong. She's American feminist philosopher. The author of Feminist Thought, which brings to attention how women are being how women are being treated throughout the history. How first women feminists try to how first women feminists try to build philosophical thoughts toward ethics, morals, and prove that women are equal gender. Of course, the week 4 didn't bring my thoughts a little bit off the topic, because I kind of was, I think, more outraged with what I was reading from the Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir, but it got my thoughts outraged. Of course, women were treated less like animals, and not women were treated as very inferior to men, which the feminist ethics try to prove and improve. I want to say feminist ethics wants to say that if the ethics that should apply to general public, should apply to men and women, are biased and are not being set with women, women will go the other way, and women start to focus on the feminist ethics, ethics that are driven, especially for by with women, especially with women in thought. So, well, as we know, in the past, women had a really harsh, and even like we could see in our articles and our podcasts and videos and in the words of Mary Wollstonecraft, who was considered being really like very first female feminist. She's trying to say, give woman men's education, said Wollstonecraft, and women, no less than men, will become morally mature human beings. I think it's very, very explanatory statement. Well, thank you very much, Professor. I hope you're gonna have a good night. I think I did better this week. Despite the week 4 when my thoughts were kind of driven with Professor outrage more than healthy thought, I want to say. Thank you very much. Have a good night.